Good morning, students. We were solving the previous year question papers. In continuation with that, the question number 3C, obtain the boundary conditions between dielectric and conductors. Obtain the boundary condition between dielectric and conductors. Consider the boundary here, right? Consider the boundary between conductor and free space. This on one side there is a conductor, on other side there is a free space. The conductor is considered to be ideal. Conductor is considered to be ideal conductor. So if it is ideal conductor, then there are few points to be noted here. The first point is the field intensity inside a conductor is 0 and the flux density inside a conductor is also 0. So the field intensity E and the flux density D of a conductor, right, is 0, right, for the ideal conductor, Then second point is no charge can exist within a conductor. No charge can exist within the conductor. The charge appears on the surface of the conductor. The charge appears on the surface of the conductor. This is the second point. Third point is the charge density within the conductor is 0. That is rho v, right? Charge density within the conductor is 0. So keeping these 3 points in mind, let us go into the details of deriving the boundary conditions between the conductor and the free space. Fine. So to derive the boundary conditions here, we are considering the Gaussian surface. So this is the Gaussian surface and the closed path, right? So the Gaussian surface is a surface which obeys the Gauss law, and this is the closed path. Fine. So first let us derive the condition of E bar at the boundary. The first one is E bar at the boundary. E bar at the boundary. E bar at the boundary. So to derive this E bar at the boundary here, so the component E, that is here, right, the component E, this is E bar, this is at an angle theta with the boundary. The E bar, that is electric field intensity, is an angle theta with the boundary. It is resolved into two components. One is tangential to the boundary, it is called as E tan bar. Another one is normal to the boundary, it is called as En bar. It is resolved into two components. Fine. We know that the equation, the closed surface integral of E bar dot dl bar equal to 0, right? That is the integral of E bar dot dl bar over a closed surface is 0, or the work done in carrying unit positive charge along a closed path is 0. As per this equation, E bar dot dl bar equal to 0. Consider a closed path here. So consider the closed path, that is ABCDA. So this is the closed path ABCDA. So for this closed path ABCDA, right, let us write the equation according to E bar closed surface integral E bar dot dl bar equal to 0. So this closed surface integral E bar dot dl bar equal to 0 will be divided into as follows. So that is closed surface integral of E bar dot dl bar, this is equal to integral A to B E bar dot dl bar plus integral B to C E bar dot dl bar plus integral C to D E bar dot dl bar plus integral D to A E bar dot dl bar, right? That is from, as we look into this closed path, A to B, B to C, C to D and D to A. So that is what we have considered here. Here the surfaces are such a way that the sides AB and CD, so these sides AB and CD are parallel to each other, whereas AD and BC are normal to the boundary. Is it not? So if we consider this rectangle, this is a rectangular element, right, with that height delta H and width delta W. So this rectangular element is placed in such a way that half of the conductor, half of this closed path is in conductor and half of the closed path is in the free space. Is it not? Delta H by 2 is inside the conductor and delta H by 2 is in the free space, right? So accordingly the portion C to D is inside the conductor, so according to the point that we discussed just now, as if it is inside the conductor, then the electric field intensity is 0 for the ideal conductor. So the integral C to D E bar dot dl bar will be equal to 0, right? This will be equal to 0. So there is, because C to D is 0, so this will be equal to 0. So the only integral that will be existing is, that is we have a to b E bar dot dl bar plus integral b to c E bar dot dl bar plus integral d to a E bar dot dl bar. This is equal to 0. Fine. Let us consider this as equation 2 and this as equation 3. The width delta W is very small. This width delta W is very small. So we can assume that E bar is constant throughout A to B, right? It becomes a flat surface, so E bar is constant throughout A to B, right? So because of this, we can consider for A to B E bar dot dl bar, right? We can take E bar outside because it's a constant. So we have A to B dl bar. So this is nothing but E bar dl bar is width, that is delta W. dl bar is the width, that is delta W. Look here. So this is dl bar, that is delta W, A to B. Okay. So let us take this as equation number 4 here. So but delta W is along the tangential direction. So as the delta W is in the tangential direction, we have E bar is equal to E tan bar. E bar is equal to E tan bar. Therefore, integral A to B E bar dot dl bar, this is equal to, we have E bar as E tan bar into delta W, Next, what about for the B to C portion? For the B to C portion, we have, let us write the equation for B to C portion. So B to C is the normal component, right? It is a normal component. This is B to C. So E bar will be equal to En bar, that is normal component along this direction. So for the small height delta H, right? If we consider this height delta H, En bar can be assumed constant. So if you assume En bar as constant, then that can be taken out of the integral sign. So we have integral B to C E bar dot dl bar. This is equal to, E bar I will take outside because it's a constant, B to C dl bar. This is equal to, E bar is normal component En or En bar. This is B to C dl bar. So this B to C dl bar, integral B to C dl bar, half of it is inside the free space and half of it is in the conductor. So I can write integral B to C dl bar as, so integral B to C dl bar, this is equal to, dl bar is equal to, I can write B to 2 dl bar plus 2 to C dl bar. See here, this is B to C, so it is divided into B to 2 and plus 2 to C. B to 2 plus 2 to C. So B to 2 dl bar plus 2 to C dl bar. So B to 2 is delta H by 2, it is delta H by 2, whereas dl bar 2 to C is inside the conductor, so that will be 0, right? Because inside the conductor, for the ideal conductor, it is 0. So we have this as only delta H by 2. So therefore I can write for the integral B to C dl bar as, that is integral B to C E bar dot dl bar, it is E bar dot dl bar. So this is equal to En, that is normal component we have. So integral B to C dl bar is delta H by 2. This into delta H by 2. Okay, so let us number the equations here. Previous one was equation 4, so this is equation 5, correct? Then we have this as equation 6, then this is 7, and this as 8. Fine. Similarly, for the path D to A, for the path D to A, this path D to A, it is same as that of B to C, but it is opposite in direction. We are moving in this direction, A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to A. So D to A is opposite to that of B to C. So as it is opposite to that of B to C, therefore I have the integral D to A, E bar dot DL bar. This is equal to minus En, right, into delta H by 2. Delta H by 2. Let us number it as 9th equation. If we substitute these equations, now what are the equations that we have obtained? One is for A to B. So A to B is E tan delta W. So that is this equation A to B. Then we have B to C equation. Okay, so B to C, with B to C what we got here is this equation B to C, En delta H by 2, and D to A, that is minus En delta H by 2. So if we substitute these equations in the basic equation, that is starting equation, which is the sum of A to B plus B to C plus D to A, okay, in this equation 3. So if we substitute these in equation 3, then we get what will happen here if we substitute. So we get En delta H by 2 minus En delta H by 2 will cancel. Okay, so then what will remain? Only the A to B portion, that is A to B portion, E tan bar delta W will remain. So that is E tan bar delta W plus E tan bar delta W plus En delta H by 2 minus En delta H by 2, this is equal to 0. So this and this will cancel. So what will remain here? E tan bar delta W, this will be equal to 0. Therefore we have delta W is the width, it cannot be 0. So we have E tan bar is equal to 0. This indicates that the tangential component of the electric field intensity is 0 at the boundary between conductor and free space. So this also indicates that there is one more indication of this E tan bar equal to 0. It also indicates that E bar at the boundary between conductor and free space is always in the direction perpendicular to the boundary. That is, we have only the normal component at the boundary between conductor and free space, whereas the tangential component D tan bar equal to 0. Fine. Then we have D bar is equal to epsilon naught into E bar, for free space. Therefore D tan is equal to epsilon naught into E tan, this is equal to, so we have D naught is equal to epsilon naught into E bar, or D tan is equal to epsilon naught into E tan. E tan is 0, so D tan will also be equal to 0. So which indicates that the tangential component of electric flux density is 0 at the boundary between conductor and free space. So it also means that electric flux density D bar is also only in the normal direction at the boundary between conductor and free space. Fine, students. So here we have gone through the boundary condition between conductor and free space, considering the closed path A, B, C, D, A, and we have finally arrived at the equation, that is E tan bar equal to 0, and then D tan bar or D tan is equal to 0. So that's all for today's class. I hope everybody have understood. If there are any doubts in this topic, send your doubts to me. I'll clarify your doubts. Thank you.